right, let me share the screen. Perfect. Do you see the screen, guys? Do you see the presentation? Perfect, perfect. So, yes. Hey everyone, very happy to be here, guys. Today we will talk about a very important topic, which is Web3 trends and future vision. It's very important to look forward in the future. What's happening right now? What is going to happen in the future in the world of Web, and that will be our topic today. And as always, guys, please don't be shy. If there is any question, if there is any interaction you want to do, just type it in the chat, or yeah, just ask for the mic, and we'll get you in. Okay. So yes, let's start. So as I told you today, we're going to look forward, not just where Web3 is, but where it's going over the next maybe 2 to 5 years, and more importantly, where you should be positioning it. So, ending that slide, let's go. Here's what we're covering like in this session of today. So we have 6 sections, maybe about 1 hour. Okay. So first, we'll look at where Web3 stands right now in 2025, what's working, what failed. We can talk about crypto if you want, guys. Okay, it's up to you. If we can talk about trends, we can talk about trading. Yeah, wherever rings your bell. And yeah, actually, like what the number says. Okay, we'll talk about that as well. Second, we'll deep dive into AI plus Web3. I know with with this big wave of AI that ravaged everything, we need to include AI. Okay, it's very important. So we'll talk about that. And this is probably the biggest convergence happening right now, and most people are thinking about it like very wrong, and we will try to clarify that. We'll talk about layer 2 solutions and scaling, okay, because like layer 1s, they are not very scalable, and layer 2s, like they solve these problems. So the infrastructure that's finally making blockchain usable at a scale, we will talk about that. Fourth, we will talk about ZKP, guys. I don't know if you know ZKP, or zero knowledge proof. This is the technology I'm most excited about, and I'll explain why. And this is a very selling word, I would say. It's like AI. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to sell your product, just mention AI. It's the same thing on blockchain, but you need to mention ZKP, zero knowledge proof. Okay, we'll explain that and we'll talk about that. Fifth, the broader evolution, okay, what Web3 looks like in 2027, 2028, 2030 as well. Like, not high predictions, but grounded analysis based on what's being built. Okay, and finally, where startups is. Okay, if you're building something, I want you to, like, at least from this session, leave with a clear sense of where the real opportunities are. So yeah, I think let's start, yeah, with the next slide. The state of Web3. And let's start with reality, okay? So let's be honest. Where we are, and I mean really honest, not the Twitter version, okay? The good news, yeah, the numbers are actually impressive. DeFi has over $100 billion in total value locked, or TVL. We're seeing 5 to 10 million daily active wallets across major chains. Not even, like, not all chains, but major ones, which is already a big number. Institutional adoption isn't a prediction anymore. Like a lot of big institutions, they are migrating to blockchain solutions. We could mention, for example, the Swift. There is a Swift version with a blockchain, a new migration, I would say, that will happen very soon. Okay, even our banking transactions will use blockchain in the future, which is very promising, and it's a good news for people in the Web3 industry. And also, it's happening. Bitcoin ETFs were approved in the US. BlackRock tokenized a treasure fund on Ethereum. Major banks are building on-chain settlement systems, like I told you. So this is very good. I know if you are following trading in crypto, Bitcoin, it was a very a huge dump yesterday, but I'm not talking about trading, guys. I'm talking about the technology in itself. If these cases or use cases are happening, like Bitcoin ETFs is approved in the US, it's a big news. It's a big news. That means there will be adoption in the future, okay? And when we say adoption, we say building solutions, okay? And building platforms. And that's where you stand, guys, right? So yeah. But yeah, here's the part most people skip, which is user experience. As I told you in the last session, it's terrible for normal people. Wallet, signing transaction, swapping USDT to Bitcoin or Bitcoin to USDT. User experience, it is a challenge. Try explaining gas fees to your mother, for example. It's not easy. Try getting your non-technical friend to use MetaMask, for example. But we've improved. We actually improved from the last years. But we haven't solved it yet. It's not the best user experience yet. We are trying to make it even better. Nowadays we see wallets that we can use by connecting to Google. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. Like last year's, you need to yeah to copy paste the mnemonic. You need to understand what is the mnemonic. If you lost mnemonic, and Facebook and other social media, which is already very good. Okay, but not good enough. The infrastructure layer has matured enormously as well. Ethereum's merge to proof of stake really worked. And layer 2s, they are processing millions of transactions daily at pennies, which is good. Because I don't know if you know, guys, because the old Ethereum is very not scalable. I mean, do you wanna speak?
No, all good, all good. Just checking if everyone is hearing well, and that's it.
Yes, yeah, I think everybody is on tune with us.
All right.
So yeah, yeah. So the old Ethereum, guys, it was very messy. It's not scalable. The fees they are high. They still this mechanism. It worked because nowadays we have layer twos. They are processing millions of transactions daily and they are very cheap. We also have Hedera. Hedera is doing over 10k transaction per second for enterprise clients, guys. Solana as well. They recovered from its outage problem and it's handling real volume, so it's less centralized right now, Solana. But the application layer, still mostly serving crypto natives. It's very rare that we see a Web3 application and it's addressing to everyone, sorry. Like non-crypto users, it's still mostly serving crypto natives. Like for example, DeFi is used by maybe 5% of the people who could benefit from it. Okay? It's very low. NFTs found their floor after the bubble, okay, which is 2019, I think. DAOs, decentralized autonomous organization, are experimenting, but few have cracked governance at scale, so that's also a challenge. So the honest assessment, the foundation is solid, the infrastructure works, but the killer app or the killer apps that bring the next billion users haven't arrived yet. That is where the real opportunity is. With these big numbers and billions of dollars, we are still have great potential on Web3. And that's why it's very interesting and that's why everybody's talking about blockchain. Even though with this big application, centralized applications popping up every day. So that's a huge opportunity for you guys. Let's talk about. Let's go to the next slide. I think we covered all the widgets. Let's go to what survived the bear market. I think you know the cycle of the whole crypto industry and Web3. We have the bull market and we have the bear market. Okay, the bear market, which is the depression phase, the market is down, etc. And the bull market is where the opportunity is. Well, everything is pumping, everyone is hearing about crypto, everyone buys crypto, etc. Okay, let's talk about what survived the bear market because it's not easy to survive a bear market. It's a depression in the market. Okay, so let's see what survived the bear market. I love looking at what survived the bear market actually because it tells you what's real versus what was a hype, because a hype won't survive a bear market. For example, we can talk about Ape Yacht Club, which is the NFT collection, the famous NFT collection of the monkeys, okay? I know still expensive, but it was a hype. They didn't survive the bear market, same as it was. Okay, we can talk about a lot of other hypes, guys, by the way. I don't know. Axie Infinity, for example, it's a game. It was very hype back then. Well, I don't know. I think 2020, 2021. Like literally, people were quitting their jobs and playing Axie Infinity because the money that they could make out of Axie Infinity is more than their salaries. It's insane. So it was a hype. When the bear market came, they didn't survive. Everything nearly went to zero. And that's not good. Bear market actually tells you what's real, what brings value versus what was only. So after all, bear market is kind of healthy, okay? So if your product or your project or your application survived the bear market, you need to know that there is real utility behind the service that you are trying to provide to your clients. What survived and grew in the last bear markets? We could start with DeFi protocols with real revenue, like Aave, like Uniswap, like MakerDAO. They didn't just survive; they grew. They grew even big. Very good sign. Real use, real revenue, users. I think generates like financial infrastructures that you could use even to build other applications. They have APIs. They have everything. Okay, so it's an infrastructure. Stable coins as well. They exploded. USDT, and USDC are now used for actual payments. Okay, across Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia. Like Tether, I think they processes more volume than Visa someday. This is the quietest revolution in crypto, by the way. Like stablecoins, they are very, very good. We could mention also layer 2's networks like Arbitrium, Optimism, Base, ZK Sync as well. These went from experiments, like literally experiments, to processing more transactions than Ethereum mainnet itself. When these guys they came to help Ethereum, I don't know if you know guys, but layer 2s they are built in order to improve Ethereum. That's why we call them layer 2 because they are just above Ethereum. These layer 2 guys, they have more transaction than Ethereum mainnet itself, and they just started with experiments. And that's a massive shift, by the way. So that could survive a bear market. What else? Real world asset or RWA on chain. BlackRock's Build Fund, on the chain, Centrifuge. Um these are like these guys. They are very big. So tokenized treasuries alone, like I think they hit $2 billion, something like that. This is traditional finance, by the way, coming to blockchain, not the other way around. Sorry, I'm having just yes. Sorry about that. So yeah, these projects they survived the bear market. Let's go to what didn't survive in the bear market. Most NFT projects, for example, they didn't survive because it was a hype. Please, guys, just a second. Yeah. So NFT projects they didn't survive because they were hype. They were only hype. I think 95% of collections they went to zero. The few that survived had real communities or real utility, not just JPEGs. Does that mean that NFT is a bad thing? No, of course not. When we say NFT projects, or I describe them as crypto collectibles, because these images and JPEGs tokenized as NFTs or non fungible tokens, they are just a product of the NFT concept. But you could use NFTs in a lot of other use cases, like real world asset, for example. So you could make NFTs with real utility. But if you are trying to make some community NFTs, like for example, just badges or just images that they are unique, yeah, it's only hype. Okay, people people could trade that, but they could decrease in value in no time. These projects, they didn't survive. It's pretty obvious to me. What else? Who heard about, for example, applications like Move to Earn? There was, I think, an application on New Protocol. It's called on Solana, I think, Stepin or something like that. And there is Sweatcoin, I think, on New Protocol. Yeah, there is these applications. You need to install the application, and when you move, you earn tokens based on your step. Like, come on, guys. You can't believe that, okay? It's good. It worked at the beginning, but it looks very Ponzonomic to me. Like, there is, I think there is a huge Ponzi scheme behind it. Or sleep to earn. We even heard about application sleep to earn, guys. Like, come on. You sleep and you earn tokens. You give me tokens for yeah, yeah, and they are worth money. Okay, it could work for the few first months, but it won't survive because the business model is very bad. There is no application that could survive that. Yeah, especially the X to earn. The X to earn, anything to earn. Yeah, you don't do nothing and you earn tokens. They cannot survive these kinds of crashes, okay? Unless there is a big utility behind it. For example, learn to earn or these kinds of stuff. But there needs to be a real tokenomic behind it in order to succeed. So unstable tokenomics collapsed exactly as critics predicted. And personally, I predicted that Axie Infinity will collapse. And I predicted that Sweatcoin will collapse. And it's not like some sort of revelation or something, but it's very obvious to me. Because it's not sustainable. You will gain few use X Ham or Hamster Combat, I think, that famous game on Telegram. Yeah, go check it right now. I think they have like few monthly users on Telegram. Why? Because it's a hype. They are incentivizing people who will come first, and after that you don't have yeah, you won't have no longer money to distribute to everybody. So it's sort of a Ponzi scheme, okay? And these projects, they are not sustainable. And that's why, guys, I tell you, if you are trying to create a token, please have some token economy behind it. An unhealthy token will not survive. It will collapse at the end. Anyone speaking can't hear anything. Yes, please, I mean, tell him that I am speaking right now, and now I'm a bit worried that nobody's hearing me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry about that. From my side, we can hear you very well, guys. Can you see? Can you hear well Santa or not? Please,
Yeah, I'm
guys, in the
confused right
chat.
now.
Yeah, just type all good or not. We can hear you. Yes.
Kingsley, thank you for the answer. I think everybody else is hearing us. Let me
Yeah,
check.
just IP
Loud and
man, try
clear. Okay.
reconnect them maybe. That could be an issue from Discord, but everyone else, I think, all good from their side.
Yeah, since he's not hearing us, could you please type to him, try to refresh Discord or something like that, in order to
Totally forgot about that. All right, I've got a
yeah, thank you. I
text
mean,
him.
it's very common with Discord. Sorry, guys, these things
Yeah.
happens a lot on Discord. So we'll try to fix that. Yeah, maybe he tries to refresh and thank you, Abla. Thank you. Maybe he tries to refresh and yeah, it will work. Usually it works. Okay, let's continue the conversation. So, what else didn't survive the bear market? So, what do you have in mind, guys? Do you think of any project? Okay, if you think of any project that could not survive a bear market, you could type it in. Meanwhile, I will try to give you another example. Let's talk about centralized platform to be decentralized for you. Do you remember FTX or Celsius or BlockFi? If it's centralized but marketing as crypto, it's not Web3. And if the Web3 industry won't impact this project, I don't think I don't think it's sustainable and it will collapse when it's a bear market. Okay, so centralized platforms marketing to be or marketed to be crypto projects or native crypto projects, they won't survive. The lesson behind this: utility wins, guys. I'm not hearing you. Let me write in the chat, guys. Do you hear me, guys? Please try to refresh.
Yeah, I think it's good for the rest, but for the ones that
Yeah, it's
can't
weird.
hear you, I'm gonna text them on the chat, so you can proceed and leave them
Thank you,
know.
Amin.
So all,
Thank you, Amin,
all
for
good.
doing the hard work. Thank you, buddy. The lesson behind this, guys. Who can survive a bear market? Of course, a project with real utility. So, utility speculation. Build things people actually need, guys. Okay? You don't build something that it's based on hype. A lot of people, okay, you can make a lot of money on hypes. We cannot deny that. People who made NFT collections in 2021, yeah, they probably became millionaire and they are probably millionaire by now. But it's very temporary, okay? Because it's built on hype. But if you are trying to make a project that survives over the next, you need to make something sustainable. You need to make something not sustainable but with a real utility that actually people, that's very important. So let me go to the hype cycle reality, but because a lot of people asks me like, Firas, do you think this project is good? Firas, should I buy this project? Should I buy the crypto of this project or the token of this project, or should I maybe try to build something on this project? And like the majority of people, they don't understand what is hype, what's the hype cycle, and in this slide we will explain the hype cycle reality, guys. If you know, for example, yeah, it's called Gartner's hype cycle, by the way, and Web3 fits it perfect. For example, we had the peak of inflated expectations in 2021, 2022. Everything was going to be on the blockchain, your coffee loyalty points, your concert tickets, your identity, your house deed, everything in tokens, guys, okay? Everything in tokens. So, tokens hit insane valuation on promises alone. Let me restart. Blockchain? Have you heard about blockchain? This thing, it's crazy. You know Bitcoin? It's built on blockchain or it uses blockchain. Everything will be tokenized in the future. Loyalty points, concert tickets, everything will be tokenized. And tokens, like they hit insane valuation on just promises. That's already hype. This delusional hit, I would say, in 2022 to 2023, it was brutal. Prices crashed 80 to 90%, projects died, talent left, media wrote a lot of things for crypto week. It was bad. It was very bad because we raised the bar. By the way, before jumping to that, where are we now? We are climbing the slope of enlightenment. And this is actually the best because we cannot, yeah, climb, for example, 50 meters or 90 meters before doing the 10, 20, 30, 40. If you understand my example, we need to go step by step. If something hyped and pumped like crazy, like 90% or 100%, or did X2 or X3, it's not healthy and it will collapse at some point. When you build something, you need to start step by step. When AI pumped, of course, we don't hear about AI. The equation of the reinforcement learning of Bellman Ford, which is the main equation to make, yeah, to do deep learning and everything and to create AI basically, was back in the 70s, guys. Of course, we don't hear about AI because, yeah, people were working on the thing, but it took a lot of milestones in order to reach something called ChatGPT, a product like ChatGPT or Claude, or it was step by step. And that's the healthy way to do it. It's the same way on Web3. Why this hype? Why this hype that happened and why simply we crashed? It was very brutal in because simply the tourists, and we call them tourists. Why? Because they just came for the hype. They heard about the thing. They were maybe positive that they will make good revenues of this new thing called blockchain, so they came. And after that, when, yeah, they left. The people still here are building real things, okay? Only the people that are building real things. Funding is going to teams with actual products, not pitch decks. The technology has matured. You can build things today that were impossible to. and the market is starting to reward utility over. That's already something very good. So we are improving. If you're in this room with us today, you are in the right place at the right time actually, because the builders who start now will own the next. And here's something I've observed across like the 6 years. Every cycle, the projects that were built during the quiet times become the blue chips of the next bull one. Uniswap was built during a bear market. Aave was built during a bear market. OpenSea was built during a bear market. So when the bull market comes, so the question isn't whether the next wave is coming, but it's whether you'll be ready when it does. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying this session. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. It's yeah, we'll talk about AI and Web3 convergence. So I assume you already understood, guys, the hype cycle and how it is bad. It's not good. It's not good. The hype will only tourists. We want real people because that's the healthy in order to build and to improve in this industry. And that's what we are having right now, and I'm glad for that to be happening. Yeah, let's talk about AI. I know everybody wants to talk about AI. It's yeah. I don't want to say it's hyped. It's not hyped at all. It took, I don't know, maybe 50 years in order to bring this fruit. It was a lot of work. So it's not hyped. We are actually enjoying the utility of this product or this fruit. So now let's talk about the trend. Okay, I think will define the next era of Web3, which is the convergence of artificial intelligence and blockchain. Actually, these guys, they are friends. These two, these two, Web3 and artificial intelligence, it's the perfect marriage to be honest. And I will explain why my words after that. And I want to start by separating the signal from the noise because there is a lot of noise here when you. So the noise, people like they are slapping AI on their token name and calling it innovation. Like a lot of projects today. In order to sell the product, you need to mention AI in the pitch deck of yours or in your website. Or yeah, it's insane actually. So that's not what we're talking about. Putting AI in your white paper doesn't make your project intelligent, by the way. Smart contracts, they are called smart, but actually they are not smart at all. They only execute. We call them smart contracts, but trust me, they are stupid a lot, okay? They are very stupid, okay? So this is the noise. What about the signal? Because we said that we are separating the signal from the noise. So the signal, there are fundamental reasons why AI and blockchain need each other. Why AI needs blockchain? So AI has a trust problem. When ChatGPT gives you an answer, how do you verify it? When AI agents makes a financial decision, who is accountable? Blockchain provides verifiable computation for that. A permanent tamper-proof record of what an AI did, when and why. Because when we say AI, we say also data. And having credible and correct data is very, very important. And blockchain, one of the primary works or utility that provides you is verifiable data. So AI needs decentralized compute. Also, that guys, also that is very important. So training large models requires massive GPU resources. Right now, that's controlled by a handful of companies like Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, but decentralized compute networks like Akash Network or Render or IO.net, they are creating open markets. This matters because centralized of AI compute is a genuine. For example, using a decentralized application, I could hire my GPU computational power to other companies in order to their models. That's insane. And I use that by the way. I have a good GPU in my computer. I could rent it for these companies and I could gain money just for owning a GPU. This is we could do that with decentralization. That's what we call decentralized compute. Also, AI generated content needs provenance. These days, gosh, it's insane. On TikTok, on Instagram, even on LinkedIn, people are spamming with AI messages. It's so frustrating and so annoying. You don't know. Yeah, it's very annoying. You don't know if you are talking with a human being or with an AI agent. It's very boring. AI generated content, yeah, it needs provenance. There is also deep fakes. They are getting distinguishable. Like you cannot tell the real person from fake. The deep fake. Sorry, from yeah. So you cannot tell which is real from fake. And blockchain can provide cryptographic proof of origin. Okay, for memes we are good, guys. Okay, we're not talking about memes, but imagine talking about identity. You could fake identity. Yeah. So what's the utility of KYC protocols and platforms if they have no utility? Was this photo taken by a camera or generated by Midjourney? You don't know. Even us, guys, we all did that. We all generated a picture of us wearing a suit. We used that as a profile picture on. Who didn't do that? Okay, everybody did. Everybody like used. What do you mean? Yeah, just check your LinkedIn picture. You probably have an AI generated picture, okay? Because you are too lazy to go take a photo, okay? It's good, it's good. But imagine this in real use cases that require security, it would be a problem. Content authenticity is $1 billion problem, by the way. Content authenticity. Imagine, just imagine this, guys. Just imagine this. Maybe now it's not a problem, but in the 5 years coming, it will be a huge problem. Influencers, AI generated. People, AI generated. Imagine you are talking to your friend and he's answering you with an AI agent. You're not talking to your friend anymore. You are talking to an AI agent. Can you imagine this life? I don't wanna picture it. It will be a disaster. Good talkers, by the way. Okay. Why blockchain needs AI? So smart contracts, I told you they are dumb, okay, but they execute predetermined logic. Predetermined logic. AI can make on-chain application adaptive. DeFi protocols that optimize themselves, for example, DAOs that summarize proposals, NFTs that evolve based on real-world assets. Because with the AI, we have the brain. We have the capability to create a brain. And when we say a brain, guys, creating decisions. And when we say decisions, we say triggering events. And with events, we create actions. So the smart contract will execute immutable, transparent, on chain that nobody could update it, and AI could trigger the actions. We don't know we human anymore to trigger actions because we have a brain. We have an artificial brain, artificial intelligence that could do that for us. So imagine, just try to picture this. Okay, now it's not a problem, but in the future, 100%, like 1000% will be a problem. Good. Let's go to the next slide. AI agents, which is the on-chain revolution. What about Maltbook? Yeah, we can talk about that maybe after this. Yes, definitely. The next frontier, guys, which is AI agent. If you have, by the way, if you have any question, if you don't have anything information about this topic, it's okay. You could also share your insights. We are having a coffee right now, okay? We are having good times, so uh we have Q&A session after this, maybe 10 minutes, so no worry about that. About this slide, we will talk about AI agents, which is the next frontier. And we already started this, by the way. Let me get specific about the most exciting intersection in here, which is AI agents operating on chain. An AI agent is it's a software that can perceive its environment, make decisions, and take action autonomously. Now combine that with a crypto wallet, and you get an agent that can transact, that can trade, that can and coordinate without human. Actually, I'm very worried about the future of human beings, to be honest. Like imagine you are sitting at home and you have a wallet with an AI agent trading for you and making money for you. We will be like literally like plants, guys. We will only eat and sleep, guys. It's yeah, I'm worried about the future of uh yeah, it's worrying. It's yeah, It's very it's very intriguing. But yeah, what I talked about just right now, this isn't actually science fiction. It's happening, and it's happening right now. There is a lot of big corporations that are creating AI agents that could trade, that could work. They will replace human beings at no time, guys. So be ready for that. I don't want you to be shocked, and I don't want you to be part of this wave, because if you are doing anything else, you might be in trouble. Okay, because these guys, they are moving too fast, too fast to even realize that they are making like big progress. Okay, so yeah. So let's talk about trading agents that monitor markets 24/7, because we cannot monitor a market 24/7. Like, do you remember the meme coin? Not the meme. Yeah, the meme coin that Donald Trump, the president of the US right now, created. Unfortunately for us, we didn't hear about it because we were sleeping. It was like a time zone problem, okay? But imagine if we heard about that and we actually bought the coin. I'm pretty sure we are millionaires right now, because that coin pumped like crazy. Like, people made like millions of dollars just on that coin in that specific time frame. We cannot monitor the market 24/7. But imagine having an AI agent that identify opportunities and execute trades across multiple dexes. Not simple bots. Not talking about bots, guys, because bots, they existed and they already exist. But bots they are very simple. They only execute the code that you already wrote. They don't think. But AI agent, they think and they make decisions, and they could change so agents that learn from outcome and adjust strategies, that's good. That's really good. That will replace a lot of things in our future. Also, profile management agents that rebalance your DeFi positions based on market yield opportunities, parameters you set. Like, imagine I am this company called X or Y, and I provide you with a monthly subscription with these agents that you could hire, and these agents will trade for you, or these agents will buy, I don't know, tradable things, or yeah, they will make money for you. It will be insane, and you will you will buy the monthly. And I show you that. Let me read the message. Yeah, 200K in fees earned by agent on free to launch agent percent of trading fees. 20 goes to the platform. Okay, well, what is this? Is this some sort of project? The idea is simple, but telling agents can programmatically launch tokens and on-chain infrastructure. Exactly, buddy. Exactly. Whether or not this specific implementation succeeds is almost beside the point. Yes, exactly. I really like the addition. Like, just imagine the potential of this, guys. AI agents on themselves, they are already good. If you add them a layer of blockchain and these kinds of things, it will be insane. It will be insane. What else? As I told you, like, portfolio management agents, it's a thing right now, and it's becoming a thing in the next years. Try to work on that. DAO participation, decentralized autonomous organization agents. Like, for example, you delegate your governance tokens to an AI that needs like a authorization. He will read every proposal directly and analyzes the impact and vote according to your values. Let's be honest, most DAO members don't read proposals. They vote directly. So an AI agent that could help you on that could be very good. Customer service agent for protocols, for example, instead of Discord mod, or an AI that understands the protocol deeply. Yeah, it can be a solution. We talked about user experience, guys. It's awful on a lot of majority of Web3 solutions. The user experience is very difficult. Having an AI agent on these kinds of applications would solve a lot of solutions, a lot of problems. Sorry, okay, like troubleshooting issues, explain feature, like even sometimes execute transaction on their behalf. That could be also a very good addition to the Web3. The infrastructure being built right now, like frameworks like Eliza. I don't know if you heard about Eliza, or AutoGPT, or LangChain. They are being adapted for Web3. Hedera's got projects using AI agent for supply chain verification, a lot of other. They have their own SDKs of also on other chains. On Solana, there are agents managing liquidity pools, for example. It's a real thing right now, AI and Web. And action to Alec. I already sent the trend. This is the next experience that we are talking about. That's why it's important. That's why AI, Web3, they are very, very good combination. Let's now talk about projects to watch. Uh, I know a few in the decentralized which is Render Network, which is decentralized GPU rendering. Like artists and AR researchers, they rent GPU power from people around the world and already processing real workloads, which is significant revenues, by the way. Akash Network as well, which is a decentralized cloud computing marketplace. You can deploy containers, run AI models, host applications, all on a permissionless network of providers. And by the way, prices they are, I think, 3 to 5x cheaper than AWS for equivalent compute. AWS is crazy expensive. It's crazy expensive. And using these decentralized network, which is sometimes it's a bit confusing, you get real a very good user experience with decentralized cloud computing, and plus you get cheaper prices. So yeah, there is io.net as well, which is aggregating underutilized GPU resource globally for AI training. Like think, yeah, it's like Airbnb for GPUs. Exactly, it's like Airbnb for. Also, we have AI plus DeFi. We have Numerai, which is a hedge fund powered by a network of data scientists, I think, who build predictive models. Okay, so the best models they are staked and rewarded with tokens. There is also decentralized intelligence for finance. Yeah, they are doing a lot of stuff. Verification and trust. We also have WordCoin. I think you already heard about WordCoin, which is using zero knowledge proofs to verify proof of personhood in a word of AI generated identities. Like proving you are human became like it is becoming critical. Like right now, especially in these times, guys, it's very hard to prove that you are a human or the message that you wrote written by a human. Like everyone is generating messages, emails with AI. And sometimes they forgot the blank spaces or the placeholders of the agent, and you get wrong emails and you get embarrassed in front of your boss, etc., etc. So we need to fix this. We need to start working on these problems, okay? There is also Modulus Lab, I think. Yeah, they are using ZK proofs as well to verify that I think an AI model produced a specific output. There is a lot of problems in that topic. Imagine like proving that GPU 4 um, generated a particular or GPU 8 or GPU 9. I don't know if you have a set of GPUs working on different LLM models, okay? If you, yeah, uh, if you know that that LLM, for example, generated a particular response without revealing the prompt, this solves the trust AI problem that we are having right now. So there's a lot of solutions currently being built. Other solutions they are getting built in the future. Okay, they are getting built right now, and they will pop up in the future. So this industry is very big, especially with AI. That's why you need to know where to include AI. Not everything needs AI. Sometimes AI just adds complexity to your application. You need to be intelligent on how to position your AI agent or your AI module, etc., etc. Let's go to the next slide. Layer 2 and scaling. Okay, layer 2s, they are very important as well. Let's talk about the elephant in the room since Ethereum's existence, sorry, which is whenever you are trying to convince some people to migrate to Ethereum, they will bring this card to you. Yes, Ethereum is not scalable enough, and they are not wrong. Ethereum is not scalable enough. Ethereum mainnet processes about 10 to 30 transactions per second. That's real low. really, really low. Like for context, like Visa handles about like around like I think 65, yeah, 65K. If Web3 is growing to serve billions, we need orders of magnitude more throughput. Okay? So we need to scale. Now, some chains address this at the base layer. Hedera, for example, they does 10K TPS natively without layer 2s, without optimization. If they add these layers and these optimization, they will go even more transaction per second, which is very promising. Solana, for example, they target 60K TPS, but there is a fundamental trade-off called the blockchain trilemma. I already explained that, but yeah, you can optimize the two of three things, which are decentralization, security, and scalability, and it's the main problem of a lot of layer ones. Only a few blockchains or DLTs have solved this problem. Hedera is among them. Ethereum chose decentralization and security, then said, we'll scale through layers, which are layer 2s. And that is paying off massively. Why does scaling matter for you as a builder? First of all, yeah, as a developer. First of all, user experience. If your transaction takes 12 seconds and costs $5 in gas fees, mainstream users won't use your app. Layer 2s bring this to sub-second finality in fractions. Why this scaling matters for you? New use cases, of course. Some applications are simply impossible at 15 TPS or on Ethereum itself. On-chain gaming, for example, you need a lot of micropayments, social networks, high frequency trading. These need thousands of TPS and near zero fees. Like imagine you are just trying to update your profile, you are paying $5 or $20 for that. That won't be helpful, okay? So layer 2s, they unlock these categories entirely. What else? Why scaling matters? Because enterprise adoption. No enterprise will build on infrastructure where a single NFT mint can spike gas fees for the entire network. Predictable, low costs are a requirement, not a nice to have. They are a requirement. In order to migrate a bank, for example, to blockchain, you need to have these. The low cost of transaction, the predictability, etc., etc. The layer 2 ecosystem today processes more transactions than Ethereum mainnet, as I already told you. So let that sink in. The scaling solution is no longer theoretical. It's the primary execution layer for most new applications. That's why layer 2s, they are very important as well. Yes. Let's talk about optimistic rollups. Um, Let me map the layer 2 landscape for you because it's gotten complex a bit, especially now, right now. So there is hello so there is like things layer 2 universe. There is the optimistic rollups and there is the ZK rollups. And please, guys, in here focus. There is a lot of people need these questions about what's a optimistic rollup, what is a ZK proof, okay, or ZK rollups. Okay, so I'll explain. The optimistic, they assume transactions valid by default. That's why we call them optimistic, because we will assume that the transaction is valid. It's spent, but we will assume it is valid and only verify if someone challenges them. The optimistic assumption proof Arbitrium, which is just by TVL or total value locked, there is over $10 billion locked. Handles DeFi NFTs the same solidity. So it's the second largest, I think. Their OP stack is being used by Coinbase. WordCoin is Sony to launch their own chains. Chain, which is a network of interoperable layer 2s sharing security. This is becoming the framework for launching a layer 2, by the way. By the way, we have also Base. Base it is using optimistic rollups. It is built by Coinbase using OP stack. Already one of the most active layer 2s. Massive user onboarding because Coinbase, of course, obviously hundreds of millions of verified users. This is the me. So spreading golf. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Let's explain ZK, and I could mention some examples of tools that they are using. Uh, they are using Era, okay, or forward about purpose native. It uses, this is a bit complicated. I won't be excited to bypass them a bit. Let's go to the Polygon ZK EVM, Linea as well, all competing for the full EVM equivalent ZK today because they shipped first and are easier to build, to be honest. Okay, but ZK rollups on the other hand, they are catching up fast. So, and most experts believe they'll win long term, talking about the ZK rollups in here, because of superior security guarantee and instant finality. Okay, so these are the trends of layer 2. So they are either using ZK rollups or optimistic rollups, and probably one of you guys in this discussion will create another thing, the next new thing. Okay, let's be hopeful. uh let's go to the modular blockchain thesis. Okay, this is another thing as well, and we can mention a lot of projects in this as well. So here's the architectural shift that underpins all of this. Okay, the modular blockchain thesis. So the old model was monolithic. Okay, monolithic of the blockchain. One chain does everything: execution, consensus, data availability, settlement. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, whatever. They are all monolithic, okay, to different degrees. The new model separate these concerns. Celestia, I don't know if you know about this project. I'm very deceived, to be honest, about the token, but the technology itself, it's very interesting. So the new model separates these concerns. They separate the execution layer, where smart contracts run. This is what layer 2 handles, by the way, which are Arbitrum, Optimism, ZK Sync. They execute transactions. They separate as well the settlement layer, which where final truth is established. Ethereum is becoming primarily a settlement layer. It validates L2 proofs and provides the ultimate security guarantee. Also, data availability layer, it's separated. The consensus layer, it is separated. Who agrees on what is valid? So it is separated. So why should you care? Because this modular approach means you can choose the best execution environment for your use case right now. You don't need to choose a blockchain and take the use a specialized L2 or L3 or a blockchain that solved the Vitalik trilemma, which is Hedera. Need maximum security? Settle on Ethereum. Need cheap data storage? Use Celestia. It's now it's like how the internet works. You don't run one server that handles DNS, routing, storage, processing, and everything. You specialize each layer, and you separate them from each other. Blockchain is finally learning from this, and I'm glad they do. Okay, they did. Sorry. So for builders, this means you are no longer choosing which chain. You are choosing which combination of modules best serves your users. That's a much more interesting design space, I would say. Let's go to the zero knowledge proof. Yeah, this is a very this is a very funny concept when it went out. So zero knowledge proofs, I genuinely believe this is the most important cryptographic breakthrough since public key encryption. And let me explain why. A zero knowledge proof lets you prove that something is true without revealing the underlying information. Means I can improve to you sorry, not improve. I can prove to you that I own this account without showing you my password. I can connect to my Facebook account without putting the password. That's called zero knowledge proof. That we need zero knowledge in order to prove that we own this thing. Let me give you another simple example. I want to prove I'm over 18. Alcohol, for example, okay? Today, I show my ID, which reveals my exact birthday, my address, my full name, my ID number, whatever. And a ZK proof lets me prove I am over 18, okay? And nothing else. So the verifier in here learns that I am old enough. They don't learn my birthday address. I don't need to tell them that, hey, I am born the 3rd of July of 1990, something like that. Prove to them with a zero knowledge proof. I could give them a zero knowledge proof that proves that I am over 18 without revealing the birthday date. Let me give you a blockchain example. I gave you a simple example. Let me give you a blockchain example right now. I want to prove I have enough funds to complete a transaction without revealing my total balance. Well, ZK proof makes this possible. I could prove to a smart contract that I have a balance without giving the whole amount, my full balance. Compliance example, for example, a company wants to prove they paid their taxes correctly without revealing their complete financial records to the public. ZK proof. Guess what? ZK proof. There are two main types that you will probably hear about, which is the snarks and the starks. Okay, starks like Starknet, by the way, and that's why it's called Starknet. Snarks, they are like small proof size, fast verification used by ZK Sync, Polygon, ZK EVM. The downside of these that most implementations requires a trusted setup ceremony. On the other hand, we have the Starks, which are the scalable, transparent arguments of knowledge, which means no trusted setup needed. Yeah, larger proofs, but more transparent and quantum resistant. Okay, and it is used by Starknet and StarkX. Yeah, I remember StarkX as well. So you can do your own research about these topics. Guys, they are very interesting. These topics, they are very interesting. You could start do your own researches and maybe share some papers on LinkedIn that would bring a lot of attention in the Web3 industry. So yeah, please do your own research. These are the trends right now. And both of these, the Starks and the Snarks, they are evolving rapidly. So proof generation times that took minutes now. So costs, they are dropping exponentially. The hardware is getting specialized. There are companies building ZK specific chips. Returning to the problem that I told you about 20 minutes earlier. I told you about fake content and deep fakes. Sorry, way I keep deep fakes. These kinds of things. Okay, the fake informations. Well, I think ZK is the solution for this because we can prove that this is a real content. This is a real human being behind the creation of this content. So we could avoid falsification and fraud in the future. So yes, maybe I'll add. Yeah, I don't know if I should continue. Reach already 1 hour, so try some simple ZK use case beyond right with slide. Um. Okay, let's talk about the ZK use cases beyond privacy. So what's the use of a ZK proof? So most people hear zero knowledge proofs and think privacy comes. That's like hearing internet and thinking email. It's not like that. Okay, it's one use case of many actually. For example, scaling. This is the biggest use to compress thousands of transactions into a single proof that Ethereum can verify cheaply without were valid. That's how you go from 15 TPS to effectively unlimited throughput. That's how we scale. Okay, yeah, your university degree, your work experience, your credit score, all of that exists as ZK verifiable credentials. Yeah, we are going there by this. It's not some science fiction, okay? In a few years, we will be remember this conversation. You apply for a job and prove you have a master in computer science for failing universities. that you have plus of experience without revealing your previous employers. And by the way, WordCoin is already doing this for proof of personhood. Okay, so proving you are a unique human without revealing who you are. WordCoin, like they are doing this thing with WordCoin, just prove that you are a human being without. What else? We have compliance and regulation. So this is where ZK proves like they could unlock institutional adoption. For example, a bank that can prove to regulators that all the transactions in a pool comply with AML, which AML is on-time money laundering. Yeah, so it's very important in the in-time money laundering that without revealing this individual transactions. Like imagine that. A DeFi protocol, for example, that can prove it doesn't have sanctioned addresses, without like doxing its entire user base. Chain analysis and elliptic, by the way, they are already exploring ZK based compliance too. And this bridges the gap between regulatory requirements and crypto. So, guys, ZK proof, it's something revolutionary, and we are using it for scaling and for other use cases. We could also use it for voting and governance. We could use it for gaming and fairness. We could use it for cross chain communications. Like imagine the use cases that you could ZK proof, and it scales everything. Because after all, what's the something like what is the thing that making the process slower? I would say verification is one of the main things that requires computational power, and sometimes it makes the workflow slow. If we implement ZKPs, okay, or zero knowledge proofs, it's solved. Trust me, it's solved. And about this ZK ecosystem, there is a lot of ecosystem way explore ZK rollups, ZK infrastructures, ZK. There's a lot. So you guys to work on that and have some good me. I'll try to wrap up quickly because yeah, we surpassed 1 hour. So yeah. This is the UX revolution. So social recovery, gas sponsorship, session keys, multi-sig by default, batch transactions. Like imagine, it's huge. It's very very huge, guys. It's very huge, and it is coming. Explanatory. I don't know if you want to continue the session, or maybe we could continue with the next one. Yeah, it's fine by me if you want to continue, but we surpassed 1 hour, so just I'm gonna ask you before continuing, okay? I don't want to hold you longer, but if you want to continue, guys, let's continue. If you want to stop, let's continue with another session, okay? Yeah, I think this session was a bit difficult for everybody. I don't see any question. Everybody is shy about asking question, but it's okay, guys. You can do your own research and could probably redo it another session. Yeah, I think because last session there was a lot of questions. This time we had nearly none. Okay, so I assume it's a difficult topic that we are talking about today, and it's okay, guys. I invite you to do your own researches first, and we could probably tackle these these topics next session. They're discovering how good the word is actually. Kindly share the recording. Yeah, it will be shared on YouTube, I think. So, do you want me to continue or maybe do it another day? Yes, let's wait for Nidal. He's typing. I'm with you. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to the where were we? Okay. Yeah, these are the emerging technologies, and let's talk about the account abstraction. Okay, it's very important as well. Yes, so let's talk about the technology that's going to make Web3 actually usable by normal people. And yeah, it's account abstraction. Right now, using Web3 requires you to manage a key, understand gas fees, sign a transaction manually. And if you lose your seed phrase, everything is gone forever. That's insane from a user experience perspective, especially non-native crypto persons, okay? And we're having some questions. Is there anyone looking for a skill developer? Yeah, guys, if there is anyone looking for a skill developer, please interact with Mori, okay? Um, so account abstraction, specifically ERC, 370, the yeah no 4337, sorry, on Ethereum, changes the fundamental model. Instead of an externally owned account controlled by a private key, you get a smart contract wallet with programmable, and that's an insane step in the account abstraction. What this enables, it enables social recovery. For example, if you lose your key, you, or for example your designated guardians or friends, family, hardware devices, it's okay, can help you, like all of this can help you recover your account. Okay, so all of these people that they can like they can help you to recover your account. Okay, but what if any person of these mentioned could lose the key? This is not an option anymore, because now with this standard we have no more of that. I lost my seed freight, 50k is gone forever. We cannot do that anymore because account abstraction, this is feasible. What else? I think gas sponsorship. So applications, they can pay gas fees on behalf of users. The user doesn't need to know gas that even exists. Okay, they click a button, things happens in the background, like how you, yeah, like you don't think about TCP and IP, for example, when you are browsing the web, guys. It's the same thing happening right now. Most of people, when they use their browsers, they don't know about things happening behind the scenes. On blockchain, they are visible. You need to configure that yourself. Now we are going there. These are very valuable information. Is this being recorded, please? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You will find the recording on YouTube, I think, and yeah, I think Emin will share it later, I think. But don't worry, it's recorded. Session keys as well. For example, approve a gaming session for an, and the game can make transactions on your behalf within limits. No more confirming every single action in MetaMask when you are gaming, because imagine gaming on Web3. Every time you process a transaction, you need to open your wallet, you need to do this, you need to do that. Now, like the transaction, the game will do the transaction on your behalf, of course within limits, the limits that you precise. Multi-signature by default, like for example on Hedera, uh, require multiple approvals for large transaction, no problem. Your phone plus your laptop or whatever, or approval plus your partners from amounts over $1,000, for example, it could be programmable, and it is programmable security. Batch transactions as well. If you want to do three transactions, yeah, three separate transactions, you can batch them. Who's building this? For example, Safe. I think you already know Safe. It's known by its old name, which is Gnosis or Gnosis, which is the gold standard of smart contract wallets. Hundreds of billions in value secured, by the way. Biconomy, by the way, I think, or StackUp, they are infrastructure that infrastructure providers, making it easy for any decentralized application to integrate account abstraction. Coinbase Smart Wallet as well. Uh, it's also very important. Consumer facing wallets with AA built in. That's huge. Why this matters for startups? If you are building a consumer like facing the app or decentralized application, account abstraction isn't optional. It's the difference between your app being used by 10,000 user or crypto native or 10 million normal people. We don't want to attract only native crypto users. We want to attract everybody who don't need to learn about crypto behavior before using your platform. We need users to settle in and start using the application without no complexity. And abstraction, account abstraction solves this. Let's go to next slide. Deepen decentralized infrastructure as well. I think that, yeah, there was a track in the last Hedera hackathon, by the way, and a lot of you participated in this track. And yeah, Deepin, by the way, is one of those categories where Web3 finally touches the real world in a tangible way. Okay, so Deepin stands, as I told you, for decentralized physical infrastructure networks. And the idea is, instead of a corporation building infrastructure, you incentivize individual to deploy and maintain it using token rewards. For example, yes, I want to train my model. Instead of buying a server and GPUs, I could rent regular people computational power in order to train my model. And there is a lot of platforms like this, like Render for example. You could rent your GPU, and big corporation, they don't need to deploy servers anymore. Use the existing, okay? They could use the existing infrastructure or the existing computational power in individuals. What else? So why this matters? Because traditional infrastructure is it's incredibly capital intensive. Building a global network of weather stations, wireless hotspots, or compute nodes typically it requires billions in investment from a single company. Deepin flips this. Thousands of individuals each contribute a small piece coordinated by a protocol. Like for example, you want to make, I don't know, something that, yeah, I forgot about the application, I forgot the name, but they have this application that you can install on your phone, and when you are moving with your phone, you are creating a network with other people. Ah, okay, okay. I got a very good example. Like for example, do you know AirTags, guys? Yeah, Steppen. It's a walk to earn, by the way. Do you know Great Onokoi? No, I think I don't know it, but I will check it later. But thank you for the suggestion. Steppen, it's a walk to earn, but I don't think they have a deep in. But the example that I was trying to explain, AirTags, for example, Apple AirTags. Do you know Apple AirTags, guys? When, yeah, these tags that you put on your belongings, and when you lose your belonging you could check your phone. Yes, exactly, for location. So how Apple are doing this thing, they are actually trying to make a coverage with people owning iPhones. If my AirTag, if I am here, my AirTag will be connected to the closest person to me that has an iPhone. And that iPhone will send it to another iPhone. And the other iPhone will send it to another iPhone until it reaches the server. And I have the information of my exact location of that belonging. It's the same thing that happens on. Yes, it's very cool and it's very smart actually. Why? Because Apple could do it the hard way, like installing hotspots everywhere and trying to cover every location on the map on the world. They could do that. Instead, they use their products, their phones, in order to create a map. Like Helium, exact, Nidal. Helium, I'm talking about Helium. Yeah, I remember the project now. Helium. I think when they started, you need to buy a hotspot that you put on your house, and with that you create a proof of coverage. Yeah, HNT, exact HNT to earn. Yes, yes, exactly. And now I think they have their mobile version. I heard about them in 2025. I think they have Helium Mobile. So yeah, this is a deep project, decentralized infrastructure. So now, instead of buying like billion of dollars of hardwares and installation and everything, we use the existing. We have individuals. All individuals, they own like devices like phones and everything, and with these devices we can do a lot of things. A simple application, you could use it to cover, yeah, to be a node, for example, to validate to give specific so that's why these use cases and deepen, it's very huge, especially on blockchain, guys. So yeah, there's a lot of projects, by the way. There's Filecoin. It's very popular, which is decentralized storage. um what else we have? Dymo, I think. Yeah, it's a car data network. So users, they plug a device into their cars, OBD port, by the way. Yes, I think. And they share anonymized driving data, and they earn tokens for that. Okay, insurance companies or urban planners and auto manufacturer pay for these data. These data is very important because it's reliable. Thank you, Senna, for this very inviting session. I do have one question. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I do have one question based on my work on Hedera AutoVest AI, and would like to hear your take. How do you see human oversight in AI governed DAOs? Should AI remain advisory, or can it safely execute under hard constraints? That's a very good question. I think it is a challenge actually. We already talked about DAOs and how DAO could in the DAO industry, how AI agents, sorry, help in the DAO use cases. But it's very tricky. It really depends on the use case in here. It could be advisory, like you said, because as I told you, most of the people, they don't read the proposal, they vote directly, which makes the which makes the results after that a little bit biased. Okay, we want to avoid that. Oh, so AI trying to enlighten or to explain the proposal or to give a brief, sorry, about what's going on could be very good as a personal advisor, or it could be the executor in itself, the AI voting for you. But about that, I'm not pretty sure. I'm not pretty sure because AI trying to vote for you, I don't know how that will impact your how it will reflect, sorry, your choice. It can be, for example, a personal agent that knows what's going on chain and trying to make the best vote. Yeah, it could be use case, but I think it's a very poor one. On the other hand, AI agents could be uh, invited in this party to create proposals. Because, for example, a decentralized organization on a DEX, there is an AI agent that monitors the DEX. He noticed that there is a specific parameter that needs to be changed in order to improve the network, to improve the user experience. So he automatically creates a proposal for that and people will vote on it. And if it is approved, so the dev will start working on that. Could be a very good use case. The AI monitor and create proposal himself. But AI voting on behalf of people, I don't think it's the best idea unless it's a very specific use case. The AI advisory thing, it's really good because people they are skipping proposals most of the time. I shared with you the right insight. I don't know. So yeah. But thank you, Emmanuel, for the question. It's a very good one. Let's go to the chain abstraction. Yeah, we already talked about this, I think. Now, chain abstraction and interoperability. We didn't talk about this yet. Um, yes, chain abstraction. So, the final emerging technology I want to highlight to chain abstraction, which is yeah, right now. Let's talk about right now. Using multiple blockchain is painful, and especially if you are a crypto native user, okay? Why? Because you need different wallets, different tokens for paying gas fees, different bridges in order to, yeah, bridge your tokens from one chain to another. You have to think about which chain you're on. Yeah, that's like having to think about which ICP's network you are on when browsing the web. It's not good, and it's not meant to be like that. It should be invisible, right? So chain abstraction means the user doesn't know or care which blockchain they are using. They just use the application, and the infrastructure routes to the optimal chain like automatically. And by the way, that's your work, guys. It's your work as builders and developers to make this possible. Okay, we need to make it as easy as possible for the user, for the client, because he doesn't need to take a Hedera certificate in order to use your application. So that's why chain abstraction matters a lot. So how it works technically, so intent-based system, instead of signing a specific transaction on a specific chain, you express an intent. For example, I want to swap 100 USDC from ETH at the best price. And the system in here figures out which chain, which DEX, and which bridges to use. And by the way, this feature is available on some wallets, I think. And I think all the wallets USDC to ETH, the wallet give you propositions. This DEX, you have gas fees with this price. But this get DAX is faster, but the price is like this. I recommend you to use this DAX, and you click the recommendation. It gives you proposals which one is better. Yeah, that was super helpful. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you again, Emmanuel. Thank you. So yes, uh, let's go to the next slide, which are the near term 2026. Let me go to the chat. Here it is. Okay. Yes. So let's get into predictions right now. I'll break this into like three horizons: 2025, 2026, what's happening now, and in the next 12 to 18 months. I think AI agents will go mainstream on DeFi by the end of 2026. I believe the majority of on-chain volume will be generated by AI agents. That's something like 100%, okay? Not humans clicking buttons. We are already seeing this with math, okay? Math bots and trading algorithms, but it's yeah, it'll expand to portfolio management, yield optimization, and even governance participation. Okay, so yeah. Also, I think account abstraction reaches critical mass. Okay, like major wallets will integrate AA by default. New users won't know what a seed phrase is, and yeah, they won't need to know anyways. The onboarding flow will look like any Web2 app: email, passwords, and biometrics. Just that. Also, real world assets tokenization will accelerate. I think we are roughly 10 billion in tokenized treasuries and bonds right now, and I expect this to reach maybe 50 to 100 billion by the end of 2026. I think it's a very large industry right now. Um, what else? Regulatory framework. So yes, that's also yeah, it's a prediction. So Mika is live in Europe. The UAE has its framework. The US is moving. So yeah, clear rules will unlock institutional capital. There has been sitting on the sidelines, so I think a lot of things will get revealed in the next year. Deepin also improves unit economics, like helium, like you mentioned, Nidal. Uh, Hive Mapper, I think, yeah, Hive Mapper also, and others will demonstrate like sustainable revenue models without relying on token inflation, and this validates the entire Deepin thesis. And what won't happen yet, I think, the full mainstream adoption, like your parent won't be using DeFi in 20. Maybe the next years, but not the next year, but maybe 5 more years, I would say. But the infrastructure for them to eventually do will be in place, I think. Also, I don't expect the super cycle narrative, market cycle, build regardless of price action. But I don't think there will be a super cycle like we predicted in the last years. It's a bit sad, but it's true, I think. Let's go to the next slide. 2027, 2028. Let's talk about that. These are, guys, again, these are my predictions. These are my predictions on the current analysis, okay? So, yeah. Uh, 2027, 2028, I think ZK Pro like become invisible infrastructure. BTC, yeah, I know. That's why, yeah, don't focus a lot with the prices, guys. BTC is king though. Bitcoin is king though. It will fall and it will raise again, but the others, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Only the ones with good utility will survive. And projects like they are, which are based on the inflation of the token. Yeah, I don't think that's good for them right now. So it's tricky. We'll see. So yeah, so ZK proofs, I think, yeah, just like you don't think about HTTPS encryption when you are browsing the web, you will not think about ZK proofs in the future. Yeah, by the way, yeah, I came up with a real good example. HTTPS is like ZKPs, guys, for blockchains, okay? So when you are browsing a web, you don't care about these kinds of things. Of course, if there is something fishy, the browser will show you, but you will never verify it unless you are a real developer. ZK will be the same thing. What else? The agent economy will also emerge. So not just AI agents working alone, but agents collaborating. Agent marketplaces where you hired specialized agents, one for trading, one for governance, one for social media, one for coding, code audit, another one for cleaning the house. I don't know. But it will be something I think in 2027, 2028. AI moves very fast. DeFi 2.0, it will eat the traditional finance. Isn't ZK for privacy? Yes, it's for privacy, but it's for scaling also. And we know that ZK rollups, they are a thing, because now, like layer 2s, they will only send ZK proofs. It's a ZK proof that these 1000 transactions, they are valid, and it's done. You can roll them together. Now it's it's more scalable. It's the place of one transaction, but inside there is 1000. So it's a very big use case. We talked about it earlier, and we talked about the different. And it's a thing. It's a trend. There is a lot of layer ones using ZKP, and it's like using AI in your projects. To be honest, when you are trying to sell a project, say it's using AI. There is an AI feature. It's the same thing right now in Web3 project. You just say it's using ZKP and everything. Like everyone will try to invest in it or whatever. Decentralized identity also, and Web3 social networks. There will be Web3 social networks, guys, because yeah, AI is crazy. Last thing, long-term vision. Long-term vision. So what we have, 2029, 2030, sorry. Now let me try to go like further out 2029. Predictions are inherently speculative, of course, but here's where the current trajectory points. A fully modular internet of value means a fully modular blockchains. The distinctions between blockchains becomes irrelevant. Users interact with applications. Under the hood, transactions route across dozens of specialized chains, rollups, and data availability layers. It works like the internet, and multiple protocols being called behind the scenes, but only one user. Central bank digital currencies integrate with DeFi, that's for sure. Most major economies will have CBDCs by 2030. The interesting question is whether they'll be interoperable with DeFi or not. I believe they will, because the efficiency gains are too large to be ignored, to be honest. Imagine like programmable government payments, stimulus that can only be spent on food, tax refund, that auto deposit into savings. The use cases are infinite. Okay, this and by the way, I think this is McKenzie. I think this is McKenzie estimate, and not some crypto influencers. And I believe in them, to be honest. So yeah, they are big guys. AI governance of DAOs. DAOs will be managed by AI system that can process vast amounts of information as well, model outcomes, and propose optimized decisions. Human governance will focus on values and priorities. Um, while on the other hand, we have AI trying to handle executions and optimization. CEO with human board oversight. Okay. What else? Decentralized science becomes real. Research funding, intellectual property, all on chain. So scientists like are tokenized research funded, and community that back the research in the upside. Like imagine you are in a scientist and sharing a Nobel Prize or something like that. That would be fun. So the big picture by 2030, blockchain will be like the database guy, infrastructure that powers everything that nobody thinks about. Okay, so the winning products won't be crypto products; they will be products that happen to use blockchain because it's the best tool for the job. So yeah, I think we finished the. I need to drink some water. Sorry, but if you have any other questions, otherwise we could. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I always take 2 hours for. I think we have some questions. Maybe let's wait a bit. I
Mhm.
don't. Let's wait for Nidalis. I think he's typing a question.
Yes, guys, if you have any other question, you can even type it in the chat or raise your hand. We'll be happy to have you on stage. Okay, guys?
Yes. Can you remind me with a project for the decentralized infrastructure for AI? There is Render, there is Akash, There is io.net, I think. There is yeah, there is a lot. There is a lot. But you what you could do is go to CoinMarket and select the category of AI, and you will see the biggest by market cap, and usually the biggest by market cap are the big guys. Can you share the presentation later? I will share it now. I will share it now with you.
Yeah, guys, you can take it even here, even for the ones who didn't join, or even saying that for the record, so they
Yes,
can find it in the
exactly.
description. So all good.
Yes. I think there is no further questions. So thank you so much, guys, for this cool session. And the floor is yours, Habibi.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Santa. Thank you so much for this wonderful session and this wonderful time. Thank you guys for your presence. Don't forget, we'll be having another session, which will be Q&A session. It's an office hour on Friday, 4 p.m. UTC plus one. So if you have any other question or a project to share or any thoughts, feel free to join on Friday. And see you there, guys. Thank you so much, and see you in the next session.